Welcome to another Baby Theater. Today, we're actually going to be talking about Peter Rabbit. Peter Rabbit was a rabbit. Did you know that? He actually was pretty normal for a rabbit. Had big ears. Normal size for a rabbit, technically. But they're still big, quite big. And two front teeth. Just kidding, rabbits don't have two front teeth. That's like Bugs Bunny or something like that. He had a full set of teeth. Rabbit teeth. And with these rabbit teeth, they're really good at eating veggies. Like he ate so many veggies, he's like, broccoli, no, carrots, shrimp. Shrimp is a vegetable, believe it or not. Anyway, so old MacDonald, he had this farm. E-I-E-I-O. And on this farm, there was a duck. E-I-E-I-O. And he said, quack, quack here, and a quack, quack there. But then there was this goose. And the goose was like, honk, 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 honk. Attacked the duck. Really messed the duck up pretty bad, actually. So, it's kind of a sad story. But, he also had a dog. And the dog's name was Tryndamere. He had 7 seconds to be invulnerable. Like that. He'd howl. And he'd be invulnerable for 7 seconds. Anyway, back to Peter. Now, why would Peter have such a normal name? That's a good question. Well, Peter actually got his name from a psychic. She said, one day, Peter, your life will end in tragedy and bitterness and hatred, and no one will like you ever again. That's what the psychic said. And the crazy thing about that is, Peter really didn't pay attention to a lot of that. He was like, oh, okay, I guess my name's Peter now. That's how he got his name. But anyway, he didn't have a name before that, by the way. He was kind of like one of those generic creative characters. But then after that name, Peter, all of a sudden, he's like in a book and shit. Fame went to his head. But, good old Peter. Old MacDonald, he did go into Old MacDonald's farm. A lot, actually. He ate all his vegetation, as rabbits do. Now, Old MacDonald really didn't like that. Because Old MacDonald planted all that stuff for his sick grandmother. And it's kind of sad when you think about it. Because, then he didn't have anything to feed his sick grandmother. That's like the saddest part of the story, when you think about it. His grandmother are awesome. So, always listen to grandmas. Anyway, grandma said, well, old MacDonald, I heard that Peter was going to have a terrible life. It's going to be okay. I know. I'm sorry. Here you go. I know. Buddy. It's going to be okay. He's got lip lock surgery and tongue tie surgery at the same time. Poor guy. So sorry for the extra upsetness tonight. Okay, buddy. So, are you ready for it to continue? All right. So, we're saying grandmas are awesome and always listen to grandmas. But anyway, Peter was, down on his luck. He'd eaten a lot of the old McDonald's, his vegetation. But the thing about it is, it didn't fulfill his life. It only fulfilled his belly. And so that's an interesting take on it when you think about it. Because, Peter really, even though he didn't really take a full, look into what the fortune teller said about his life, he did, however, it was stuck in the back of his head a little bit, and it really didn't fulfill him. And so Tryndamere comes around and says, "Hey, Peter. Hey, Peter." And Peter was like, "Hey, what's up, dude? What's up?" And Tryndamere's like, "Get the hell out of here. What are you doing on Old McDonald's farm? What are you doing on Old McDonald's farm?" There we go. Yeah, we okay now? Okay, good job. Here, hold on to my little hand here. Good job. So Old McDonald's like, so Tryndamere's like, "Get off this farm, dude. You're messing my whole thing up. You're messing old grandma up, too." And Peter's like, "Dude, I'm just trying to grab a bite, You're grabbing too many bites," Tryndamere says. He's like, "Be careful, because I can grab one bite, too." And Peter Rabbit's like, "Oh, well, yeah, I can see your point. I better skedaddle," he says. Now, Tryndamere thought that was the end of it. Tryndamere was like, "Okay, cool. All right, that sounds good. That was his internal monologue. And so he backed off. He's like, "All right, he's getting out of here. Well, Peter wasn't ready yet. He wasn't fulfilled in his life yet. So he said, "Now, I'm just going to sneak around to the fence area, come back in." Little does Tryndamere know, right? "Yeah, you okay?" Oh, big yawn. Yeah. Big yawn, yeah. Okay, one more. Okay, here you go. Here you go. No, it's okay. Here. You want to feed this way? Let's do this. I know, it's rough. Here you go. Hey, you want to feed that way? I know like that sometimes. You'll be okay. Oh, you got a burp? Oh, well, that makes sense. Yeah? Okay. Alright, there's a burp in there. So, Tryndamere's like, get out the old man's farm, man." And he was like, "Oh, yeah, I will. Totally, dog. I got you." And so he went around the other side of the fence, started sneaking back in, and he started going for the pickles. He's like, "Give me those pickles, And so, next thing you know, Old McDonald comes out. And obviously, he's got a shotgun, And so, he comes out and he starts blasting, right? And Peter's like, "Oh, man, this is bad. This is real bad." So, Peter starts running. But then, Tryndamere says, "Wait, don't shoot." And Old McDonald accidentally just put a whole blanket of pellets right into friggin' Tryndamere. He's like, "Ow!" Luckily, he had 7 seconds of immunity. So he took the shots and didn't do anything to him. Just pinked off. He's gone. Then, good old Tryndamere ran over to Peter. He says, "You almost got me killed and shot. I can only do that once in my lifetime, and I was going to save it till I was on my deathbed. But you messed up and got me killed." Technically. Because he would have been able to survive, longer on his deathbed if he had that 7 seconds of immunity. So then, all of a sudden, old McDonald comes out and he apologizes. He says, "I'm so sorry, Tryndamere. My gosh, I can't believe I did that. Why would I have done that? I don't even know what I was thinking." He's like, "Oh, my shotgun thought for herself." And then Tryndamere was like, "Well, I don't accept your apology. I never will. I'll always think of this. I'll always imagine them bullets shooting me. What do you think? I don't feel pain? You think I'm impervious to pain? Huh?" Old McDonald's like, "No, you're not impervious to pain. Obviously not." Now, Peter, this whole time, was eating some pickles. He's like, "Give me them pickles." He's devouring them all. He ate the whole freaking farm. And the grandma was like, "Oh, where are my pickles?" It's like, sucks. It's like, her ate all our pickles. Why the hell? And he wasn't even hungry, really. He'd already eaten. So really, it was just like extra calories at that point. So, old McDonald, he was like, "No, this isn't going to stand." So he grabbed Peter by the leg, and Peter tried to run away. But then, his leg broke off. Like T-1000. And he goes, "Wait, I've got a lucky rabbit's foot now." Old McDonald's is like, "I wish upon a star." And all of a sudden, his whole farm repopulated. Now, the downside is Peter. He wasn't able to regrow a leg or anything like that. He used to walk with 3 legs, and it's very bad that old McDonald did that, because you never want to harm an animal. It's terrible, terrible. I mean, he's a bad guy though. He shot a dog, then he's like ripping this leg off, freaking rabbit. Serial killer, in the making, 100%. Not good. So, but Peter, all of a sudden, that leg was his lucky leg, obviously. So he lost all his luck. All of a sudden, he got really skinny. He's like, "I can't find any food." All his food's growing, right next to him. When he tries to reach for it, can't even get it. Keeps tripping over his foot. Keeps clawing at the ground. Like, everything he tries to do, he can't get it. So he says, "Well, I guess I have to go home." But guess what? He didn't have a home anymore. It blew up while he was gone. So old McDonald kind of felt bad. And he said, "Well, even though you're going to live a life of destitute and, like failure and all that kind of stuff, I'll take you in. I'll make you part of my family," right? And as soon as he said that, Peter Rabbit was like, "Ooh." He was lucky now because he had the power of family. And that's really powerful. That's really powerful stuff. I mean, when you really think about it, that's the power. But Tryndamere was still angry. So Tryndamere was like, "I just really don't think you're cut out to be an old man anymore." And right then and there, turned into a little baby. Just about this size. Because that's Tryndamere will. What Tryndamere wills goes. Yeah. And then Tryndamere took care of baby McDonald and took care of Peter. And then nobody was lucky. Just lived a normal life. And it was a hard one. It was a hard one. The end.